Are you struggling to listen for both key press and key down events in Elm? You're not alone. This is a common challenge for many developers, and today we're going to tackle it together. I totally get it. It can be really frustrating when you want to capture both events, but only one seems to work. This is a common issue that many Elm developers face. Here's the specific question we're addressing today. One user asked, how can I listen for both key press and key down events in Elm without losing the prevent default functionality? They found that when they set prevent default to true, only the key down events were captured. Sound familiar? Let's dive into this. So what's happening here? When you set prevent default to true, it stops the key press event from firing. This is a common behavior in many programming environments, and understanding it is key to finding a solution. And stick around. I have a neat workaround at the end that will help you capture both events without losing functionality. To listen for both key press and key down events in Elm while preventing default actions, the user should start by modifying the event handling options. They need to set up the key down event to prevent the default behavior, but still allow the key press event to be captured. Next, the user should ensure that both events are properly decoded. This means they need to define the key code variable that will capture the key values for both events. Now, the user can implement the event handlers in their Elm application. They should ensure that both handlers are included in the view function so that they can respond to user input effectively. Finally, the user should test their implementation to ensure that both key press and key down events are being captured correctly. They can do this by logging the key values to the console. Fun fact, did you know that the first keyboard shortcuts were created in the 1970s? They were designed to make computing faster, just like we're trying to do today. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach suggested by a user is to use the Elm-Lang keyboard package, which is suitable for Elm versions before 0.19. This package allows you to subscribe to both key down and key up events easily. The user points out that the default action for a key down event triggers a key press event. If you prevent the default behavior, you won't receive key press events. They also suggest considering the use of key up and key down events instead. Let's check out another perspective from a different user. An alternative solution involves using Elm's subscriptions to listen for both key down and key up events. This user suggests adding a subscription for browser.events.onKeyDown and onKeyUp, which allows for handling these events in a top-level message. They also include support for modifier keys like Alt, Control, Shift, and Meta. The user also emphasizes the difference in how onKeyUp and onKeyDown handle characters compared to onKeyPressed. This distinction is important for processing key events correctly. Here's the workaround I promised. Use a custom function to handle the key down event and then trigger the key press event based on the key code. This way, you can maintain the prevent default functionality while still capturing both events. And there you have it. You can now listen for both key press and key down events in Elm without losing functionality. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks.